Hi guys, if you haven't been here before, well, my name's Dave. I'm the founder and host for the Lyfelinez Podcast. The idea being it's a platform for things, all things health and wellness. Spit it out. Today's guest is pretty sick. We've got a doctor. He's a biochemist. He's a businessman. He's a successful entrepreneur. He's a ton of things. So for this aspect, it's to understand how his past is tied into fixing a problem. Which sort of do recovery and drinks, which is firmly and centrally my background. So about to hear all the journey of Prickle. Yes, I did say Prickle. It's a drink. So Simon's going to walk us through kind of where it come from, why it started, why he did it, and then we'll dive into some of the science behind it. It's always interesting, I think, especially in this day and age, to understand the whys. I think everyone's a little bit more savvy, and it's what we're all about is transparency at brand level. So without further ado, let's dive in.
In terms of the sort of story,
yep.
In 2000 and let's think around about lockdown time,
yeah,
right. Like everyone else, you're at home with a lot of time to think. So I'd already got my consultancy going.
Yeah,
I just started the toxicology business where I was sending things to America.
Yeah,
so that actually worked during COVID anyway. Yeah. And I thought,
glutton for punishment.
Yeah, there's something else that's been gnawing away at me for a few years, right? That came out of a single incident, right? Whereby my daughter has nut allergies, right? Okay. She has a whole load of food allergies, so much so that she's allergic to coconut, right? And coconut's not even a nut usually on the nut allergy spectrum, okay? But she was allergic to it. And we were at a gym, and we'd done a workout and everything. She was a teenager at the time, and the gym was pushing coconut water, right? That was their main thing. So everything was coconut water. Even the smoothies were coconut water based, right? And it's like, well, have you got anything else? Because she can't have it. Like literally, it's not like I choose not to buy it. It's like she can't have it.
Yeah.
And I know that okay, she might be one person, but it's like, where's the choice gone? And the choice was, Coca-Cola or Diet Coke, or then water.
Yep.
Right. And it's like, well, I'm into sport. Like I briefly mentioned why I went to.
I'll fill in the gap of that in a minute.
Yeah. So I'm into sport and everything. It's like, well, there's got to be something healthy. So I thought, where's the options? There's no options. So I thought, where else could you get water from that is not going to maybe deliver an allergic response, not going to have some of these things? So I thought, right, a cactus, right?
As you fucking do.
Yeah.
As you do, mate. I mean, so I was sitting here thinking,
isn't it obvious?
Yeah, I was just going, what would you be a cactus?
Yeah, it would. I mean, look.
Until I met you, I had no idea.
Yeah, but, I remember cartoons like Roadrunner.
Oh, yeah, no, they were.
Wile E.
Sorry, yeah, in the desert.
In the desert, course,
right?
Yeah. So if you're in the desert,
and
then they're looking, Wile E. Coyote, he needs a drink or whatever. He slices open a cactus drink. So I thought, okay, cactus. So I look on the internet, cactus, right? There's nothing, right? What comes up though is prickly pear cactus.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's still a cactus, but it's one of the only cactus that has a fruit. Yeah, there we go. That has a fruit on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And this fruit is quite nutritious. And what was coming up on the internet wasn't the usual, here's a whole load of products or whatever. What was coming up was scientific papers.
Right? No, this is you. You've got like, yes.
So like, hang on a minute.
Coconut water's fucking
hang on a minute.
Delivered.
Yeah. It's like scientific papers. And I read these scientific papers and they're talking my language. They're talking biochemistry, right? Yep. So they're talking about how there's particular things within the plant that actually are helping at a molecular level within the body, right? And talking about inflammation, talking about blood sugar, glucose and things like that. Well, this is well in my wheelhouse, right? So I'm reading this and going, and I'm looking around. It was only me in my laptop, but I'm, sort of looking
in a dark room.
Why is no one thought about this, right? Because this has got some real proper potential benefits in there, some real mileage. So it's like, okay, I could make a drink out of this.
Yeah.
And then it was, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
Right? Too busy. So I left it. right? But then lockdown came, and it's like, I wonder what's happened.
So I'm going to put a pin in this just to hold us, because there's a point here, not to intervene.
Okay.
Hold the point. There's another thing, and I've done this. No, I haven't actually. I need to be honest. My business partner, he's like a bit of a dad to me. He's fucking lich, like one of my best mates. And we had toilet business, and he used to say he wanted to mothball it, like the fucking terrible description. Yeah, I'm so stuck on words. But he should have put a pin in it. And I think a very good lesson that I've learned, and you've just shown there what you can do, is if you've got an idea, just put a pin in stuff and just let them sit and wait, because at some point they can come back online.
Yeah.
And I only say that because I'm right in the position now where I was panicking at the time. We put a lot of money into it. Fucking loads of other shit was falling down the toilet at the time, and it became a focal point for the wrong reason. Yeah. Now I'm 18 months on with this idea, and it's already starting to come. I'm hearing what you're saying with this. I'm blessed enough to be supporting you with bringing this to life in the commercial capacity, which we'll come on to. But I'm now thinking, actually, the same thing's just happened to me. So there's a lesson there if you're listening is, and especially if you're young, you're going to have fucking loads of ideas. Mm-hmm. Just shelve them, put a pin in them. Let them come back.
The right one will come back.
Exactly. So please continue.
No. I mean, you've said it yourself. Is that the key thing is timing. We've already said this.
Yeah.
And also knowing your limits and knowing what you can do.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah.
And by putting a pin in it, and then it will return when the time is right.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
100%.
Where who knows what's happened in that intervening period that would mean if you'd actually done it,
it wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked.
It would have suffered, or it would have been hard. Yeah, agreed.
You know?
Yeah.
So to then have that sort of time for things to either, without you even knowing it,
just percolate,
throw around, then you can return to it and go, right, okay, here we go.
And this is a perfect example.
Yes. So this is coming from that scientific sort of side of things, but again, remember what I said before about niche.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the first thing I thought as a businessman, and one of the reasons why I put a pin in it, was like, well, it's a drinks market. It's like, but
over here.
It's like, oh, I've got a new drink. Come and buy my new drink. And it's like, no. Oh, okay. It's like the drinks market. Okay. And even at that point, it's doing a bit of research. And the drinks market is Coca-Cola and PepsiCo.
Oh, mate. So, and again, I'm going to just speak with this to add context and not talk over it. And it's so refreshing. Describe this. Go and look at cooler fixture to put some more substance behind what Si's saying. Just because this is my background, there's probably 3 manufacturers in that fridge. Think of a fucking WH Smith chiller, the size of the wall. And to Simon's point, I think it's very, again, it just echoes probably the sort of businessman you are and the broad thinker. You're competing with three organisations across 20 soft drink categories. I mean, and then you just want to go on with your new one, like you say, and go,
it.
hey.
Okay, yeah.
And to add some context, it is, we don't get this, I mean, David, business partner, is the same, it is less about your idea and more about understanding the mechanics of either commercial orientation and the relationships are built in those spaces. So if you think, like, this is definitely got bags of legs, I've fell in love with it, but now it's about what's it got to replace. And to your point where you were going, I think, is if you are in this space and you're thinking about if you're not got a niche down in the drinks category, it's fucking hard to innovate. I mean, you could say, is it innovation, if you did, is for innovation's sake? Are we at that point? I don't know what else we could really do post what we've got now. So with that in mind, you've got to understand if a buyer's got to take something off a shelf, you've got to be bloody sure that your goes on and equals it, or if not betters it. And I think that's a hard position, which to your point, you've obviously considered is why you initially went, the drinks market. Yeah,
and this is a founder's podcast, is that when you're then thinking, you've got an idea, right, and you're thinking, is this going to be a business, right? So some of the things that I've already mentioned, I'd already had the idea and was already there as a business, right? Yeah. This is this point, this fork in the road of or maybe, to use the Matrix, do you take the red pill or blue pill? Type of approach. Are you going to go for this or not? So as a businessman, you then have to step away and think, right, what's my exit?
Yeah.
Right? Remember, what is my exit? Well, the drinks market is massive.
And I
as we
can
know.
say, hand on heart, you echoed this the first time we ever sat down. Mm-hmm. So this is not, whilst this could sound...
it's not contrived. This
no.
isn't contrived for the podcast or anything.
No, at all.
This is
because this
real.
is what
I'm real. Whatever I say, sometimes I may say too much or
no,
whatever,
mate, I just think it's been a pleasure
real.
To echo the point that this is exactly why one of the reasons I was like keen to continue to work, because you understood the landscape so well and had a plan, and you understood the market really well. So
well, it's hundreds of billions, right? Is the drinks market hundreds of billions? When it's one of the largest markets in the world, and it's a case of I've got a new drink. What do you do? Well, so ultimately the drinks market does allow potentially for flotation, potentially. Yeah. However, these big boys will never let it get that far.
No, agreed.
Never let it get that far.
No.
So you might as well, that goes out the window, right? You're not going to be able to do that. So therefore, what you're looking at is an acquisition, right? So in that case, you also need to think. Remember, at this point, I've not even got a can, right? You've got to think at this point, what are they going to be buying? And you've just mentioned the word innovation, right? Innovation, and again, this is just from a pure business perspective. Innovation is about actually giving people what they want.
Yep.
So if people want this, it's like, how do I make that?
Yeah.
That's innovation.
Yep.
Okay, you might, there's innovations in medicine and things like that, but it's still trying to get to a place where people are saying, I want this, I want that, right? So from those bigger companies where innovation actually could cost quite a lot of money, it's cheaper to buy someone who's already done the legwork.
Yeah. Right? Proven concept.
So that was one of the first sort of initial building blocks that had to be in place, is that, okay, if I'm going into a very saturated market, how do you make something, or is what I've got, is my idea,
I be aiming for to create
something a bit different,
yeah.
Right? And where we were at COVID, right, is everyone thinking about health.
Yep.
Everyone go, oh my God.
Big shift at that time.
Massive shift.
Huge.
I mean, you've got the home gyms all over the place,
yeah.
right? I mean, the gym community is enhanced massively.
Mate, if you just look at some of them, I think we talked about it. So High Rock's never come on to 800,000 people a year now. I mean, the London Marathon's 1 million, it never was. 25% growth in that. I think you look at the, not official national statistics, what is it, UK Sports, I can't think of the fucking website. But it tracks all core sports. I think, all endurance sports are up between 15 and 25% since this time. So we are seeing it, and that's at you'd call an elite end because it's endurance level stuff, So without shadow of a doubt, mate, it's the knock-on effect has been massive.
Yeah. I mean, you've always had elite athletes or people with an ambition to be an elite athlete, always. But I think what happened during COVID, I mean, it says something about the fact that one of the most famous people, aside from, Patrick, who came on the TV, do you remember?
No.
The government, what's his name? All the government advisors that we see every single day. That will come on.
Yeah.
Joe Wicks.
Yeah, he exploded. I called him out just before as well.
And essentially, Joe Wicks is there teaching the every person about fitness.
Yeah.
And going, guess what? We're all at home.
Basic
you might as well get fit.
Yeah.
Because if you're not doing any of that, it's going to be bad for your health. So that was a mindset shift, I would say, for the population.
And I think the other thing that leads into yours, mate, is food, nutrition. There's people paying more attention to what's in it, or what's it do, what's a macro. Like if you think back, mate, 5 years ago, I don't know, many people I knew would have known macros. What are they? How many calories in a carb? Whereas now people do.
Oh yeah, and people are looking at labels.
Yeah.
People are looking at the traffic lights on labels and what's red, what's amber, what's green. But also, it's about this so-called functional, right?
And
product.
We've got a great case here. Not to talk again, but Poppy flashed that up at this point. 2 years, billion quid that just went for in America.
Yeah, just from the internet.
Functional drink.
Yeah,
got the. I think if you look at the why, they got the branding bang on. They made function. I mean, listen, kombucha.
Yeah,
it's a tough sell, but it's got a market. I think and I think you're on the next evolution of that as a drink from what Poppy have done.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at
There is a lot of
the
similarities.
theme, what you're doing. I don't think it's a Me Too brand, but I'm not saying any
Oh,
stretch,
no,
but I think
no.
the principles of how
Correct.
and we are building this together is exactly why Poppy's succeeding. Like your core kombucha brands that have been in Holland and Barrett for fucking 2 or 3 years anyway didn't really gain traction.
Yeah.
They didn't quite understand the link between the marketing consumer build a brand versus function, benefit and health.
Yeah. and essentially it's about, and again, this is a founder podcast, so it's the business side of these things is where you're thinking about niche, what you're delivering that's different, what you're delivering to ultimately how you're going to exit.
Yeah.
So the reason why I went forward with it was, first of all, actually took advice. You've said already on this podcast about seeking advice, maybe people who are more well informed, right? So I approached a drink consultant who used to be developer for Mars Drinks,
Yep.
and said, look, this is the idea, this is what I've got, what do you think? You know, you're in the industry, these are the type of things you would do every day. Would this be something that has got legs in you think? And he said, yeah, I think it's one of the most exciting things I've seen in years within this, because it is something new. So it's like, once you've got that further validation, because, you know, I wasn't a drinks person, right? Now I know a lot about the drinks industry.
You do. Yeah, give it that.
But I wasn't. And it's about ratifying and understanding that you're on the right path and that you're doing the right thing. So with all of that coming together, that was then a decision made, was right, okay, let's go for the drink, you know. And from a founder perspective, the concept is taking everything then that I've learned about working with investors, about how to set up the business in the first place, about shareholding structure, about, you know, just basic profit and loss budgeting. Okay, because when you do a drink, when you do a product based rather than service based business,
so different, aren't they?
very different, and everything is down to how much does it cost to do this, right? Whereas a service, it's like, you know, finger in the air,
and that cost gets more. I mean, if you can't deliver on your plan in time, that just becomes a flat cost because you've paid to chuck it in the floor. So this is the other bit, shelf life. I mean, supply chain management. The interesting thing about it that I've enjoyed since we started working together is we have to explain to a lot of founders, you want to come into market at price points, like, cool. Am I making money any there? Yeah, of course you're not. You've got the Grenades of the world, the Monsters of the world, which is build it, that are already at the price point you're trying to be at. You've got to then be convinced, and this is what I liked you already having. I mean, what I like is you're hell bent on the exit in your head. It's happening. It's not if, it's like when. But then we know we're reaching for that 100,000, 150,000, because then the business is mature enough and big enough that it makes money. But in the meantime, it's operating at this cost, and just having faith that you've just got to ride the course.
It's putting everything into marketing. So that you've got that awareness. So you creating demand if there isn't demand there already. You actually showing people why they should be having this. But ultimately, the profitability is made from getting that to be as cheap as possible to make, right? Now, that is very difficult if you are a business who are having to use contractors you haven't got a production site. Now, of course, think about that. Okay, I'll get a production site. Well, take those costs of the lab that I was telling you about before and then quadruple it. You know, you're into the millions to have a decent production site and everything. So, you know, the plan really is to disrupt, right? Is to actually shake a stick, shout from the rooftops, make people aware of what they're taking into their bodies. They can do better. It isn't sugary. It's no sweeteners. You know, it's very natural ingredients. There's two things in this can, right, in the drink, which is prickly pear cactus and lemon juice. And the lemon juice is only a little bit there to stop any nasties growing in it. It's not there for taste. So the flavour is prickly pear, and it comes as it is, right? That's it, right? It's just a natural product. So people are now more mindful that, well, what are all these names that I can't pronounce? What is that? You know, and even sweeteners where you've got natural sweeteners and natural caffeine and CBD. Don't get me started on CBD. All those, well, you could do. That'll be another podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to do another one, mate.
Anyway, you've got all these. So it's about, you know, making people clear about what they're doing. But then when you've got the larger companies, right, who then have the production facilities, they have that supply chain where they can leverage because they're buying other things from that supplier, whereas I'm just buying prickly pear cactus and lemon juice, right? That conversation is not a Coca-Cola type of conversation. They can leverage that. So ultimately they make forward money, right?
Yep.
But our aim, our mission is to get this out to the world so that we can actually have the benefits of it, and they will, pay us for that innovation. So we've done our bit,
Yep.
and we investors are happy to walk away
Yep.
with that. But then it then grows within the next phase, and with someone who's got those production facilities.
Yeah, and that's the exit. And
That's the exit.
That's the minute you walked in. So I think that there's something. I was with a client yesterday, in the food space, and we've got clear packaging coming out, like potted eggs. I mean, I don't go to the grocery store, so I didn't fucking know they existed. But you literally got a snack now, clear pot.
Okay.
Very limited bullshit on it.
Yeah. 2
eggs.
Uh-huh.
And it's all to do with this mistrust that the consumer has, to your point,
Yeah.
of what the fuck, I shouldn't have. Why don't I think of that? I can't even say it.
Yeah.
What is it? So that for me yesterday was a turning point again when we have these conversations about, because obviously the drink spaces where I've been, you're like, yeah, it's accelerating, like clear pots. But my initial thing was it's plastic still, and it was like, no, someone's forgot about the plastic. They just want a clear pot now. I'm like, fuck, that's gone a bit of a U-turn quickly. So ever important. So I think now we're at this point. Walk us through what's in the drink. What are some of the benefits it does?
Yeah, of course. So when I was looking at the science, remember, there were some key things that were coming out of it, right? That one of the first elements that it was studied for, so this is not just a lab-based study, this is also in people, right, is diabetes, okay? So one of the key problems with diabetes is people having that sugar control, whereby it's, your insulin can get out of control, and you're not producing insulin, so your sugar starts spiking, and then you have to inject the insulin if you become insulin dependent diabetic, or you're having to take your medicines anyway to control that glucose. So diabetes is a big thing, and the challenge that people have is making sure that what they consume in their body is not going to disrupt that blood sugar regulation, right? It's not going to cause a sugar insulin response. So this was studied because the prickly pear cactus and the actual, so there's fruit sugars in it, right? But they're what are called complex, okay? So they're in it, but they're mixed in with the fruit fibers, right, and the other elements, such that unlike if you spoon out sucrose, if you spoon out sugar, castor sugar, things like that, that is refined sugar that the minute you put in your body, it's like, injecting heroin into the vein. It's like,
you get a huge
boom,
response.
there you go. There's your sugar response. But if you're consuming your sugar, because we still need carbohydrates.
Yeah, we do.
Right?
It's primary brain source.
Yeah, you still need it. If we're consuming it, though, naturally through a natural fruit-based scenario, then that absorption is slower. So it basically gradually slow release
no
into
dip,
the body,
no crash.
Correct. So that's why it was studied, because it's naturally got that delivery system, because it's fruit fiber based, right? But then the other key thing, and this is where some other drink companies don't really talk about this that much, is that even if you avoid added sugar and sweeteners, and they say 100% natural juice, right? But then you look on the side and you go, well, how many calories is in that? There can be more calories than there is in a can of Coke, right? And the reason is because many fruits, why do people consume fruits? Because they taste nice, right? Why do they taste nice? Because there's sugar, right? There's fruit sugar there. They're so high in sugar, that's why people consume them, right? But that means that if they're high in sugar, they're high in calories.
Yep.
So what prickly pear was shown to have was naturally low in calories, but still delivering like a fruity taste, but also having this very slow sort of delivery of the glucose or the sugars. You get fructose as well,
which is what we're after for.
Yeah.
So a low glycemic index,
low glycemic index
carbohydrate is the key.
Yeah. So in this can is 39 calories.
Yep.
Right. So many people look at a can and they go, well, it shouldn't have any calories. It's like, well, actually, it should. If something hasn't got any calories, it's either water, or it's one of these ones that have basically been developed in a lab where you've got sweeteners thrown in there and things like that to remove any of these sugars, to make sure you haven't got any of these. But actually, those sweeteners themselves can give you cardiovascular disease and a whole other health issues. So, it delivers taste with low sugar that is delivered very slow, low glycemic index, low calorie.
Yep.
So that's what I saw from the scientific papers anyway.
Yep.
Right. The second thing was anti-inflammatory. Right. Now this is what got me really interested. Okay, because I've never really seen anti-inflammatory drinks.
No.
Right, out there at all.
No.
The only thing that you get that mentions the word anti-inflammatory is where you talk about antioxidants and blueberries and things like that. It's like,
then you're into
blueberry,
the smoothie.
great antioxidant smoothie, right? And you go, okay, fine. But again, high in
the
calories.
smoothie itself then's been destroyed with all the added shit that ends up in
Correct.
it.
Correct. So you've sort of limited that because sugar. So again, I went through my own health type of situation where I was getting like inflammation of the liver and things, and getting all these other things that were preventing my running and give me injuries and stuff like that. And so, well, what is it? The body's suddenly reacting in a weird way.
Yeah.
And it's just the modern ultra-processed food.
Yeah.
You start cutting that out and you go natural.
Yeah.
It all goes.
For me, mate, cellular inflammation's just landed on my radar. It shouldn't have been this late, especially knowing what I know. I probably just not looked low enough. If anything, I kind of was spinning the chart.
Yeah.
Cellular health, gut health, food, supplements, exercise.
Yeah.
Instead, it was the other way: exercise, food, supplements, gut health, cellular health.
Yeah.
It's like I've got them the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So without getting very scientific, but I am.
Yeah,
right?
you are a scientist. You should.
Inflammation is a body response to something.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it could be anything.
Yeah.
So it can be body response to something we've drank.
Okay.
It can be body response to something we've eaten. It can be body response to stress.
Yeah,
right?
which is a huge one, cortisol.
Yeah, it can be body response to our environment, if we're hot, if we're cold. It can be body response to exercise.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're not under stress when you're exercising, you're not exercising
There's no
enough.
adaptation to occur.
Yeah, absolutely. So your body turns itself up, right, when it exercises. But anyway, so inflammation is that. Now, if anyone said anti-inflammatory, you may be thinking things like ibuprofen, right? So ibuprofen medicines, what they do is they stop the inflammation by trying to cut the signals that then kickstart
You're not fixing the problem.
No. You're fixing the message.
Funny that. Is that the pharmaceutical industry's like main mission statement?
Yes.
I couldn't resist, mate.
But it's true. I mean, you know, all of the drugs are often around about going, right, okay, well, let's stop that happening. So ibuprofen stops by disrupting that message and stopping it proliferating, etc. Right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
This, though, is doing it in a natural way, right? Because what you've got, and you see some purple on the can here, but in the actual cactus itself is green, right? But the fruits are multicoloured. You get purple ones,
really
orange
nice
ones,
colour.
yellow ones. And that colour, that pigment colour, comes from what are called betalains. And that's just a group of molecules that are in these pigments, right? And you get them in like beetroot. So beetroot.
Yeah, I mean, there's another one. Yeah.
But you have these betalains. Now, the prickly pear cactus has got specific ones, right, that have been shown both at a cellular level, like in the lab, but then also in other studies, to be one of the most potent antioxidants you can get, right? And the reason why it does it, and the reason why it's potent antioxidant, is that it's catching what are called free radicals, okay? So free radicals are produced when our body has started that process, okay? So if we've done our exercise and our body's turning up, our exercise, our sort of function, and all of these different biochemical processes that are happening are producing these little shoot-off electrons, right? Like this.
I just love the way
things like this.
You're one of the few people
off.
well placed to describe this.
Yeah, and these electrons that shoot off, they shoot off from like an atom, like a nitrogen or carbon or whatever, and these leave something there that are called free radicals. Okay. Right? These free radicals are like the pinball machine. If you think of our body as a pinball machine, right? These free radicals, the little balls that go ping, 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 and what they're hitting is our cells.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the boxes.
And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing.
Right.
Because that can
cause damage.
Yeah, because depending on which bit it hits.
Yeah, of course.
That's like, oh, you don't want to hit that.
Yeah, fine, okay.
And it may be, oh yeah, you hit that, but you don't want to hit that. So it could cause cell damage. It could cause another response, right? A trigger trigger that. So of course our bodies are amazing things, right? So as soon as it thinks it's under attack, it starts going, right, let's get the troops in. And it starts the immune response and an inflammatory response, right?
Fine, okay.
So if you're allergic to things, so there is a difference between inflammation and allergic immune response, right? Big difference within what's happening in the body, but the concepts are the same.
Yeah, get it.
Your body's responding to something.
Yep.
So what this does is these betalains, they mop up these free radicals so that they're not able to then ping, ping, ping to then start the response that ibuprofen would then later stop.
Fine. I got it.
See what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And when you consume it in the way that you do as a drink, it then goes around the body.
So this is why you're suggesting post-exercise is a great recovery source.
Yeah, that's right.
With that, look, and you got someone sitting here, I hate all the fucking before, during, and after stuff, and you must do as well as a biochemist. Because it's not just specific. I mean, this essentially one during and after is going to be good. To prep yourself, because would I be wrong in thinking, for the way you described it, wait until after?
Yeah.
It's all been going on.
It depends what you're doing, right?
Okay.
So let's look at two different scenarios.
Yeah.
You've got the gym.
Yeah.
Maybe where you're doing weights or things, or high rocks, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you've got the runner,
yeah.
right? And let's even make that like an endurance runner as well, right?
Yeah.
So if looking at a gym scenario, many people do a pre-workout, right?
Yeah.
To get the body prepped. That's often high in caffeine.
If you do, just
be careful, right? Because caffeine, I mean, I don't know how much time we've got, but for caffeine, right, as a toxicologist, right, caffeine can kill you, right?
Yeah.
But caffeine seriously messes up your heart, right? And I'll talk about the relevance of that when we actually talk about where this sort of sits in with sort of running and activities, okay? But let's just take the concept that many people do a pre-workout to maybe have a bit of caffeine or have carbs, right? And they're doing that because our body needs to burn, it utilizes energy, it needs to burn a fuel source to actually do what you're trying to do, right? So from a carbohydrate perspective, fine. This is naturally low in carbs, right? So there's no point taking this beforehand, right? So I wouldn't actually say take this beforehand to prep it, okay? If during, it depends how long you're going for, right?
Okay.
So if you're going for a short, workout, legs day, or, upper body, whatever, where you're going, right, I'm just banging these sets out, bang, bang, bang. You don't need to stop and drink this, right? But if you're trying to do, let's say, an all-day session where you're splitting it up or you're doing a double session,
because that free radical piece will just start to occur.
Yeah, it will. So that's where you then bring this in and go, okay, right, this is my dampener.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah.
This is my dampener type.
Duration's key.
Duration is key when you're doing that type of exercise.
And intensity's got to be a big.
Oh yeah, big one. Because the more intense you do,
the faster the free radicals start.
Correct. See, you're on it, Dave.
I love
you're
shit,
a scientist.
Fuck it, I'm in. I've qualified the school of Simon.
I'll give you a certificate.
Simon Prickle.
I'll give you a certificate. So so that's from that thing. Now, what the afterwards though? Okay, so you've done all that. What do you do afterwards? So often people go, I have protein shake.
Yeah. That 30-minute window, that special window.
Protein shake, that will bang that protein in that will build my muscle. And then I come along and go, well, yeah, you can have that, but you also need to think about the rest of your body. And they go, what do you mean? I go, well, I've got anti-inflammatory. And the first thing I always get is, yeah, but I need the inflammation. I need that to go to build my muscles. And I'm going, yeah, you do. But what this is doing is it's turning the general inflammation down in the body, right? Because in order for you to get that focused on your muscles and things like that, it's up massively around the body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, yeah, whilst you might be building up some
So it's not
muscle
going to turn
there,
it off, it dulls it down. It takes
dulls
the
it
edge
down,
off it.
Takes the edge off.
Nice.
It's still not going to be enough to suppress that muscle growth.
And if you're into where most people are with this, it's like, you know, you're spending the time, people invest a lot of time and money in kit. Just look at the High Rocks community. Like, there is a lot of money being invested, and people should be, and I think it is the right time to be like, well, where are the marginal gains?
Yeah. Well, as we all know now, anyway, your biggest gain actually is going to be in how well you recover.
100%. You've got, I mean, for me, I think I've talked about this on other podcasts. Eddie Hall's documentary to being the world's strongest man was a compelling one. I know the Stoltmans, you know, they look at those guys. You know, the fact, you know, cold water therapy's come up, sauna. It's just, and whilst we've all known it, I think there's a much bigger light being shone on it.
100%.
The faster you recover, the faster you make improvement is probably the...
That's right. Well, yeah, I mean, it means that you may be able to train better, longer.
0.5 more.
Yeah, that's it. And that more training will, you know, build, etc. So it's all about the recovery. So people are understanding that.
It's easy for me to margin against not. If you are a diligent, consistent exerciser, that's a fucking horrible description. I should have thought was a better word.
With lycra, you have to have lycra. If you're a consistent exerciser, you need lycra,
a headband,
probably a headband, and some leg warmers. Obviously,
those become bigger than marginal, don't they?
Yeah.
By I mean, it's compound interest.
Well, think about exactly. Think about that. Think about how that means in a 3-month period.
Yeah.
Think about that as in a 6-month. Think about in a year.
Year's big.
When, you know, you're
because your general fitness gets fit, so you can go harder for longer. It has just so much upside.
Yeah. And bearing in mind, of course, what this is doing is for your whole body, right? It's not just about that. It's like it is actually helping reduce that inflammation.
I'm going to throw in a curveball.
Yeah, go on.
As someone that does enjoy drink, it's a really good hangover cure.
Well, I was going to save that till last.
Yeah, I was just going to make, because I've been using it myself, obviously, because I enjoy drinking at the weekend.
Okay.
Really, really good.
Shall we talk about alcohol?
Yeah.
Do I give you the signs of a hangover?
100% we'll get into it. That I'm obviously my sachet with, because I've got Rhodiola rosea. Oh, mate. Game changer. But yeah, so let's talk about science, please.
Okay. Well, okay. I will return to that hangover in a second then. So we were talking about if you're in the gym, right? Then let's say you're a runner, right? So I'm a runner, right? I do a lot of sport, and what you do there is, I don't have much before a run, right?
No.
If I'm training for marathons,
here's one I have to put into context how good a runner you are, because I, for some reason, just assumed you wouldn't be great, and then you chucked in that you'd been to America. Don't know why you do it with people. It's just wait, but this is a fucking good time. What do you do? 10K in America, 40 minutes?
Just over 40 minutes. Yeah.
And how old are you?
52.
Mate, that's in any way that's sharp, mate. Do you know what I mean? We're definitely not running together. So just to put into context, because it's easy. There's a lot of founders out there that are pushing things and probably not into it, but you are very, very much into health and wellness, health and fitness,
I've always
exercise. Like that says a lot. And what you just said, because your partner got injured on the Saturday
on the High Rocks,
so you just went and smashed a 10K on the Sunday and a 40. What were you second? No, first.
I was 33rd overall out of everyone that competed, which was over 5,000 people, and it was like I was in the just behind the elites.
Class.
That came in. So it was a weird experience, right? Because they shut down the whole of the Las Vegas Strip for this run. I mean, they do it every year, right? And they do a half marathon, they do a 10K. Now, I'd booked for the 10K. I wanted to do the half marathon, right? But I'd booked for the 10K because my partner said, you can't do a half marathon after a High Rocks. I went, well, so I was thinking about it. That's why I booked the 10K. Otherwise, I would have done the half marathon. But in the end, unfortunately, we couldn't complete the high rocks because she tore a calf muscle. But still managed to do some stations, get some of the photos. I was there. Did it.
But then smashed, and then
then did the 10K. But what happened was that they shut the whole strip down. And because I was literally one of the first to finish, when you're in that top, because all the elites, they'd gone, right? They'd gone home.
Yeah.
They got that. I mean, the winner did it in 31 minutes.
Quick, mate, yeah.
Right, which is...
32 is one of my fastest back in the day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you
are. Yeah, when I was in the army, mate, I was half the size.
Oh, okay.
But that's a long time ago.
Well, that's right. We'll train you for a comeback.
I was thinking about it because it's nice hanging around with people like yourself. I've got one of my mates, Dan Alden, he did the Arctic Sparring race. There's a lot of people who I look, and it actually triggered me on. When you told me 40 minutes, I was like, maybe just to chase something or someone that's still doing it. I mean, it's like not that age means anything, but it's always like, I've got lazy. I've massively got lazy. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think park runs help, I mean, park run is a big thing. 5Ks, people can get used to going, okay, what's your 5K? What's your 5K?
And it's a great environment. I mean, he's been going out sneakily. Tom behind the camera. He chucked what'd you chuck your 5K in 24 the other day?
24, 40 something.
Nice.
And he's not a runner. He's sneaking in. That come on Strava. I was like, between the fucking two of you, I'm like, get left behind here.
That's it. Okay. Anyway, so it was a good experience. So as a runner,
to the camera was you are not only qualified exceptionally well on paper to do this and behind the brand, but have a massive passion and take it very seriously. Your own personal health and fitness, I think, is important to mention.
Yes, that is very true. And using the fact that I am a runner, knowing how this fits in with the runner, right, is that I wouldn't drink it beforehand, right? What I would do is if I'm training long, like for marathons or things, you hydrate. So I would drink it as part of a hydration regime because you have to be hydrated before you go into marathons or half marathons, right? Weeks in advance, right? Not just like a day before and go, oh, okay,
slap it on a Friday night.
I'll have the two litres of water now because guess what? Your body's just going to go, you're going to go to the toilet twice as much.
Yeah.
That's it. No, you have to do that more. But after the run, right? And here is a good example. When I finished the Royal Parks half marathon, right? I've done pretty well in that as well. Royal Parks half marathon, you're handed a can of a caffeinated drink, one of the energy drinks, okay? And it's like, not just as a runner, as a toxicologist, I'm telling you now, and anybody listening and watching now, I'm telling you now, do not have caffeine straight after a run, right? Because the first thing that does is then imagine your heart rate, which is, you've been trying to maintain that heart rate.
That's already been stressed.
Absolutely, because,
the engine's warm.
Yeah, depending on the route, you may have really pushed it up a hill, and then you're down. But the whole point of a run is that you're running at a capacity of heart rate, okay? Then your body has stopped, right? It wants to stop. It wants to recover. The last thing you want to do is then spike that heart rate up with caffeine, right? And it doesn't matter whether it's a natural caffeine or we're throwing in a whole load of caffeine. Caffeine is caffeine, right? So it doesn't matter how it's badged. That's the problem. And then guess what? Again, with the high rocks, you finish a high rocks.
Red Bull's
caffeinated drink. And it's like, I mean, if you're talking about heart spiking up and down in an event, high rocks is going to max it.
Yeah, massive,
Up and down, because when you're on that resting thing, you need it to rest and then it will go up. And so you're going boom, boom, boom like this. The last thing you want at the end of that, when you're about to collapse anyway, is go, hey, guess what? Your heart's then through the roof. And it's like, insane.
So what's your on that? Because I was led to believe there's some elements, I'm not saying I totally get this is not to challenge it. There is benefits to cardiac health in general through general consumption of caffeine. Is that true? Don't listen to the we're not talking in an exercise environment, but
if you're talking about cardiac health, i.e. that you don't keep your heart beating all at the same rate all the time, and that there's benefits to exercising your heart, right, as much as exercising your body, then just do exercise.
Yeah. So the claims around that it's caffeine contributes to cardiac health is through the ability, it just makes it beat a bit more up and down more.
I mean, I'm not a cardiologist, right?
Right.
So it's important when we
Keep context.
when we're in this. Well, you stick to your area of expertise.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
As a toxicologist, I know the impact of caffeine. So what I can tell you is that if it's coming from a point of view that you've got someone that is the proverbial couch potato,
Yeah.
right, and they're sat at home and all they've got is a resting heart rate, right. And the only time it may go up is if the team scores on TV or something, but it's a resting heart rate, then that isn't good for you. Yeah. So you do need to, try and push the heart a bit and so forth. But then if you sat there and you're drinking an energy drink, just by that, doing it for
How?
you're better off actively doing it
of
yourself
course.
naturally, rather than basically having a drug. for want
If
of a better
you've
word.
got any cardiologists watching this, let us know, because we do like to dip in and out of this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think very, very well put there.
Yeah. So I would say that if the thought process of that is about changing, exercising your heart muscles,
Yeah.
and those sort of things, why didn't you actually just
Just go and do
exercise?
some exercise, go walk. Agreed.
Yeah. So this is an after that type of scenario, right? So
Yep.
this is what you should be handed after and drinking after, right? So how many? Just one can or multiple? So what you should do is, after you've worked an intense exercise, so whether it be running, whether it be in the gym, and this is any sport as well, if you've done anything like that. I mean, basketball, when I was playing basketball, your heart rate goes
mate,
up
it's
and
hard
that
work,
all
yeah.
over the time. Squash
Yeah.
is a ridiculously cardiovascular
Yep.
focused sport.
Paddle now.
Oh yeah, now paddle. Yeah, I mean, I think this will work really well with paddle.
Yeah.
Really well with paddle.
Yeah.
Because as mates of mine at the sports club that I'm part of, where they come in from the paddle, I know you're a paddle guy, and they are absolutely like,
Mate,
it's like,
I think it's such a leveler. It's a bit like the equivalent of a handicap in golf. I think it's brought the middle of two sports together. It's still really hard work.
right, yeah,
Which you're saying.
Yeah,
People come in and you play for an hour.
yeah,
I
That's
can't
it.
play tennis for an hour
no,
because I'm not very good at tennis.
yeah,
So if anything, it's that space where it's probably it's a bit like five-a-side football with the lads when you're a bit older.
yeah,
If I go out for an hour's run, I'll probably get bored and give
Yeah.
up because I can't be asked.
Yeah.
Chasing the ball for an hour,
yeah.
because there's something to think about. It takes your mind off it.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing. You mentioned five-side football and everything. Back in the day, often people would be, whatever you did as a lads thing or a group thing, you then go to the pub, have a few drinks.
Yeah, we
and
still do.
all of those good
Never
things
good.
that you did.
Yeah.
Then sort of get destroyed. So this would work in that context. So you'd have like one of these straight after,
Yeah.
and then maybe another hour
Yeah.
after that, and then. It depends on the timing of when you did it. Like if you did it in the morning, if you exercised in the morning, then maybe have that one in the morning, then one at lunchtime,
Yeah.
and then maybe one in the evening. But certainly have at least two.
And also, let's not forget, it's just a really nice, healthy, refreshing drink.
Well, that's the other thing, is that what you do know, that when you take it into your body, it's not going to cause sugar spikes. It's not delivering bad things. You are going to be okay, and you can drink. It's an alternative.
So if I take the fact you won't see anything in my house, like people come in, it's like fridge is full of bacon, avocado, eggs, loads of red onion, cheese, yogurts, like protein yogurts. It's pretty limited.
Yeah.
Sourdoughs on the side.
Okay, yeah.
There's never any. I've just started to buy sugar-free Ribena.
Okay.
Because the only other thing I was drinking was my own hydration products. I like now. Obviously, you've sent 3 cans. If I'm thinking this fits that bill of like, I want something where, and I'm not saying I'm not a complete health nut. Like I've just done a drink, and on a weekend, it's very unhealthy level
Yeah.
of drinking properly. So I own it.
Yeah.
But I still make the decision. I'm like, right. So just because of that, I'm not then going to let the whole fucking week fall apart. So this has become just and it's refreshing as hell, really refreshing. So I think there's the other piece just to remember. It's just a healthy option.
Yeah,
for the drink.
it's a sparkling drink. That's one thing. So it's not a still drink. We did look at still drinks, and we did do some development of still drink, but it really kicks as a sparkling drink.
The tastes a bit. Some of the industry, we both know the difference between non-sparkling and sparkling.
Yeah.
And certain taste profiles is massive.
Yeah, very very much so. And from a taste profile, it's like it's nothing you've ever tasted.
No, it's not.
And when people taste it for the first time, and we've taken this around lots of different events, right? tens of thousands of people, right, have been at these events, and thousands, of course, have tasted it. And we always get the same thing. Either I didn't expect it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Or it's like, oh, that tastes really nice. Or often their first taste is something that they just can't put their finger on, and their brain.
Second time tastes different.
Second time, amazingly.
If better. That
It
really,
is better.
That time I've seen you at the Performex,
Yeah,
I actually drank it. I even said to you, I was like, fuck, I don't, probably because you talk about it, isn't it? It's so unexpected. So you're probably thinking of like trying to work it out. But that one at Performex, I literally was like, it felt refreshing.
Yeah,
nice.
you had that hit because it's just how the brain works. You know, when you taste something for the first time, it's like I always say when I talk to people about this at the shows, is that imagine trying to explain to someone how a strawberry tastes if they've never tasted a strawberry.
Yeah, and then you're like, bang.
Because what you tend to do, it tastes a little bit like this, a little bit like that. And your brain is trying to work out what it tastes like based on what you've already tasted. But then the second taste, your brain goes, it's that taste.
Yeah.
So when people also say, oh, does it come in different flavours? And I go, no, it's its own flavour.
Yeah.
So that's
it is.
it.
Yeah,
because then, I'm not saying that in development later on, whether you have a particular special edition or whatever, but it's meant to be that flavour.
It's how it is.
So let's talk about the science of hangover.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Right? Let's talk about that.
A lot of people have gone that up, brilliant.
Okay, they wake up now and they go, right, so pour yourself a drink.
Yeah.
So essentially what happens with alcohol, right? Alcohol is ethanol, right? So alcohols is the chemical term.
Yep.
Ethanol is the alcoholic beverage, right? So ethanol goes into our body, right? Goes around the body, goes to our brain, gives the effects, right? Now the body tries to get rid of it by converting it to a metabolite, right?
Yep.
It converts it to something called acetaldehyde, right? That's the metabolite of alcohol.
Okay.
Acetaldehyde, which will sit in the brain and sit around the body, right? It's the acetaldehyde that's actually helping to produce this hangover, right?
Okay.
Because you've got two aspects. You've got one which is dehydration. Okay, so people get headaches, nausea, and everything because they're dehydrated. Alcohol, even though you think you're drinking a fluid, alcohol is a diuretic. It makes you go to the toilet all the time. So if you're at the pub and you've been having a few pints, you're in and out of that place all the time. You need to know where the toilets are as soon as you get to that pub. So it's a diuretic. So you're going to lose water, and if you're just taking in more alcohol, it's just going to lose more water, right? So you've got that. That's then what causes the hangover. But the other aspect is the acetaldehyde causes inflammation in the brain.
Fine. Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So everyone is told, if you've got a hangover, make sure you drink plenty of water before you go to bed.
Yeah. Or the aspirin again, but the aspirin's not fixing the problem. It's getting rid of the signal.
Correct.
Fine.
Yeah. So drink plenty of water before you go to bed. Why is that a thing? Well, it's there to basically flush out any alcohol that's left, but also try and flush out the acetaldehyde, and also to try and hydrate you, right? But that only fixes the hydration part of the problem. It doesn't fix the inflammation that even if the acetaldehyde is gone, that it's left behind. So you need to fix the inflammation, and as you've just said, that's where this comes in, and it's been shown. I mean, they've actually given it to people, right, who've been delivered alcohol, right? So in a clinical way, right, and they say, right, are you drunk? Yes or no? Right, feel drunk. Okay.
Yeah, that's it again.
Exactly. Okay, you've got a hangover. Right, now score how your hangover feels against people who hadn't had any alcohol, right? And they did it by giving them the same drink, right? But having ones where you had people that were drunk and were given actual prickly pear juice, and then some that were also drunk but were not given. It was given like a placebo, right? So it was like flavoured prickly pear thing, but wasn't the real components.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they did that, and they found that those people that had the actual prickly pear juice and everything, their hangovers were better.
Yeah.
Right? So they had less of the effects that you would get, and the explanation was purported to be, what's the theory? The theory is it's the inflammation side of things.
Yeah.
Now, what we're doing with this particular drink and the can is that they were giving sort of pure juice and everything. We're giving water, right? So you've actually got the water and the anti-inflammatory. So it actually kicks it up a notch, because you've got the drink plenty of water before you go to bed, drink this before you go to bed. So if you had a heavy night out, right, you have at least one of these before you go to bed, and then
one when you wake up.
One when you wake up.
Agreed. I can vouch for it. I did slam in a Hydro G, guys, so that everyone who watches me, well, they already know what that is. So do the 2. It's bulletproof. You're good for day 2. I'm not advocating that at all. Look, mate, this has been exceptional. 1, to talk about, obviously, your journey. 2, to get into where you've come from. I think any founder watching this is a perfect blueprint of, and exquisitely communicated, as always, of where the life started, how you've learnt from each of those points in time. You've revisited a plan that had already worked and you get better, which you're now doing with the existing toxicology piece, but then taking those principles in a measured manner and now applying it to a field that's well outside your technical scope of practice, but is well inside of your scope of practice. Because an entrepreneur, I think anyone watching this, and this is probably an open question, business is a set of principles. You just apply it to anything.
Yes, correct.
And the minute you can do that, I think you tick the entrepreneur thing. And then you can pick yourself back up after a knockback, a failure, a difficult conversation. You're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, from my perspective, is not designed by or defined by success as such, because that's personal.
Well, it's a state of mind. The entrepreneur element is, I could do that, or like, why it's looking at things differently, and also going, why has it always been like that? It doesn't have to have always been like that.
Yeah, and I think that will get more. If you look at where we're going with stuff, that's probably the critical bit of thinking for me. Just not accepting that just because it was. Mate, it's been absolutely riveting. I've loved it.
Thank you, mate.
A couple of things to take away then.
Yeah.
What would be, for anyone watching, what's your, in fact, I'm not going to give you a number, 2, 3, fucking 10, choose whatever.
Yeah.
A couple of sound bites, a couple of things that have sat with you that have got you through to where you are, that you think, you could pass on to someone watching it.
Okay. I would say trust in yourself, right? When gut feel is a thing, right? Now, when you have an idea, or you've got to really think and have that first sort of feeling, does it feel good or not, right? When something feels difficult or feels like I'm not quite sure, everything's got to be positive. There's got to be positive flow, right? So really think in your own mind before it even leaves your mind. Does it feel right for you? Is it something that you think you can do, something that you can get behind? Because you've got to believe in it.
God, I've blind belief.
You've got to believe in it,
yeah.
Right? So that's the thing, thinking yourself. But then the flip to that is, don't ignore other people, right? In terms of listen to other people. Now, it may be that you go, okay, I understand that point of view, that perspective, and this is how I'm going to do it differently, or I'm going to mitigate it, or whatever. But have that ability to connect with people and just have a different perspective on things, right? Those are certainly 2 things that I would say. So listen to yourself and listen to other people.
God.
But I think the underlying thing is you have to 100% believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
100%.
To a point, some may see it delusional.
Yeah, to a point where it's a question of people saying, look, are you really, really sure, because either this isn't working or whatever, but you never know what's around the corner.
Yep.
Right? You
just
never
don't
know.
Or who.
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of that same
I'm going
mystery.
to close this off with a personal anecdote as well, I can always do, but I've just had the same thing happen.
Okay.
Gone through a varied career, military, did good at that, corporate, did good at that. Eventually, in my own fucking way as well, so anyone that knew me at that time, I was very fucking unorthodox. I still am. I was pretty much like this in the corporate world. So I had a shelf life there as well. I fucking well knew that. And then the ecosystem I built off the back of fucking just losing everything was through necessity, but not wanting to deviate from a plan. And the only person that got it was a billionaire I'm now in business with. He's the only one that got what I was trying to do. And at that point, I felt like I'm fucking glad he's the only one, actually, because that's where I want to be. If everyone else got it, they'd be doing it, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's something in it. But I'll make this matter self-doubt until that point. Like, it was getting close to the ramp of meeting him as well, thinking, am I really fucking nuts? Like, is this really ego? Is this really, why am I doing this? Loads of doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Validated in one question when he just went, I get what you're doing. I was like, fuck, we're sitting having dinner in London, so it's crazy. So it's sometimes not the what, it could be the who.
Yeah.
Look, mate, absolutely fantastic chat. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. If you're, all the usual links will be put in the episode. Comment below. If you've got people that want to come on, please let me know. If you've got someone that's trying to do the thing that you've heard we're doing and keep doing the thing, share this episode, share this podcast. Go over and head over and follow this. There's some big stuff coming with this right now. We're about to do some bit of a strategy session together anyway. But yeah, keep your eye out for this, guys. Go give it a follow. And if you're into the fitness space, where's the next event you're going to be at?
World of Triathlon live in the London Excel in a couple of weeks in March.
Wicked. And if you're in men's health, women's health, go get yourself.
That's it.
A mag, does it?
A copy. Yeah.
A copy.
Get yourself a copy.
go
get yourself a copy on Apple News. It's available digitally on Apple News or other digital platforms.
Wicked.
So yeah,
all available, mate. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, Dave.